on page 91 in our pink math journal, the first note that we're taking is that all shapes must be drawn with a ruler. All shapes need to be drawn with a ruler. We'll be using our protractor today, but along the bottom is a ruler or straight edge. The second point, as we are talking about lines, rays, angles, we will be using symbols to identify them. All of the symbols are the same no matter what direction of the shape. And we'll talk about that in a minute as we draw an example. Okay, a plane. You're going to hear that term in geometry. A plane is a flat, two-dimensional surface. Theoretically, it goes on and on in all directions, okay? Now, what's that word two-dimensional mean? Do you know what that means? Two-dimensional. Jacob? It is flat. So if you remember back to when we were talking about area and perimeter, and we had to name the dimensions of the rectangle, that was referring to the length and the width. Okay? If it's a three-dimensional shape, then it also has height. Okay? Length, width, and height. But two-dimensional shapes, just like Jacob said, they're flat. Okay? So when we talk about a square, that's a two-dimensional shape. It has a length and a width. If you want to talk about a cube, now it's three-dimensional because it has a length, a width, and a height. It has three dimensions. Okay? So all of these are two-dimensional geometry terms. Okay? And then the last one that you need to know is line segments and rays are part of a line. Line segments and rays are part of a line. So, a point. It names an exact location in space. Okay? We draw it just by a point and then an A. Typically in geometry, when we draw points, they're either parts of lines or line segments or angles or rays, okay? But it names a very specific location in space. That's point A or point B. And there's not really a symbol, but you might just see it say point A. There's no symbol, really. Okay, that's the only one that doesn't really have a symbol. Okay, a line is a straight path of points that goes on forever in opposite directions. So, it's important to note that it has many points on it. We will typically only name 2 points, okay? But it will have points going all along it. We will always only name 2 points, but that doesn't mean that it only has 2 points. And then when it talks about a line that goes on and on forever, that's pretty hard for us to fathom or imagine. I can't really conceptualize what that looks like, a line that goes on and on and on in both directions forever. But theoretically, that's what a line is in geometry. And when we sketch that, we need to use a straight edge, okay? And you should know that it does not matter. I can make my we use the arrows to show that it's going on and on in both directions, because we can't draw a line that goes on and on in both directions. So we use arrows on both ends. Okay, you could also draw your line this direction. Okay? It doesn't matter which direction. You can draw it horizontal. It doesn't matter what direction your line goes in. The symbol is always going to be this. No matter if your line is vertical, horizontal, diagonal, your symbol is always horizontal. And you need to have, it looks just like an actual line, but listen, this is something important. On your symbols, we never put the points. We never put the points on a symbol. We name them underneath, but we don't literally draw them, even on rays and segments. Okay? And then we can also put a comma. You can also say ray BA, ray DC here. It can be AB or BA. It can be CD or DC. It does not matter as long as you name the 2 points. Yes, Hunter? Do you think you could wait about 7 minutes? Okay, perfect. Okay, then we just saw a line segment on our term viewer. Okay, it's a part of a line with 2 endpoints. So CD right here is a line segment. AB right here is a line segment. You're just calling out part of the line. Okay, so we can draw it however we want. We do have to have a point on each end. Okay? And our symbol for that, I already said, we never have points on our symbols. So it's just AB or BA. Hey, you're not using a straight edge for drawing your lines. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say. You gotta use a straight edge. We have to use a straight edge. You have to use a straight edge. Every time you draw something in geometry, you have to use a straight edge. Okay, now we have a ray. A ray is part of a line that has one endpoint, and then it continues on and it forever in the other direction. Okay, again, it does not matter what direction you draw your ray. It has one endpoint and it has an arrow. But everyone listen to this closely. Even though it only has one endpoint, you have to have a second point on it. Do not put it under the arrow. Do not put it under the arrow. Okay, that will make it so I can't see it. Okay, and then this is ray AB. And I want to tell you this. This is the only symbol that it matters. You have to put point A first to show that that's your end point. When you're calling it, you have to put AB. You cannot put BA. There's no point on your symbol. If my ray is pointing to the left, my symbol still points to the right. The ray symbol always points to the right. No matter what direction I'm doing my ray in, the ray symbol always points to the right. You could even make yourself a little note here if you want. Always points to right. Okay, formed by 2 rays that have the same endpoint. That's an angle. Okay, we call the common endpoint a vertex. Okay, I'm going to open my angle this way. Okay, and it's a ray. These are rays, so this has to have another point to name it by. Okay, and we will call that angle A, B, C. Now, you can call it CBA or ABC, but the vertex or that middle point, the common point, has to be in the middle. The common point has to be in the middle. So it can be ABC or CBA. On your symbol, it always opens to the right. It always opens to the right, no matter what direction your angle is opening. And this is the same for a right angle, an acute angle, an obtuse angle. The symbol is the same. Okay, perpendicular lines. Lines that intersect to form 4 right angles. Okay, so we have one that's going vertical. And then we have one that's going horizontal. And to make sure they're perpendicular, you can look at that line and try to line it up. Okay, now to show that you know it has to be 90 degrees, there's a little symbol we can use. It looks like that to show that it makes a square. That's what someone means when they say, is it square? They mean, are the angles at 90 degrees? Okay? And this lets me know that you know it's supposed to be 90, even if your drawing's a little off. And you have to name each line with 2 points. Okay, so this way we say angle, line AB, and then here's the symbol for perpendicular. It looks like an upside down T. Is perpendicular to line CD. Line AB is perpendicular to line CD. And then parallel lines are lines that never intersect. So they look like this. And you go straight down. That's C, D. Okay? And really what it means is they're the same distance apart from these 2 points and these 2 points and every point along the line. Remember, there's endless points along our line. We only have to label 2, but that doesn't mean there are only 2. And then to show the symbol, it's line AB, and this is parallel. Looks like 2 L's, and there's 2 L's in parallel. Is parallel to line CD. Okay, so these are the terms that we need to know. Okay, we're going to go through this pretty quickly. We've been practicing this on our spiral review. When you do your spiral review this evening, when you're back to EL10 here, you might want to look on page 91 in your journal. Okay? You can go through your journal to get help on all of these. Okay? Okay.